To get started.
Yes.
Okay, all set, Elizabeth? Excellent. All right, go ahead, Rob.
Where's the,
Oh, sorry.
I've only been doing this for, 17 years or so. Good afternoon, I'm Robert Dodig. I am well, have no time constraints. Dr. Desimores is missing, Amy. Looks like Dr. Duncan and Dr. Johnston. I guess you gotta be a doctor to be missing. What's that?
Jessica. Yeah.
And then it looks like Carl Burnside. I have no elephants. Expectation. Make progress. And before I hand over the microphone to Will, I just want to introduce two new members of our team who will also introduce themselves. But Michael Robichaud is our new Director of Insurance and Benefits. He is there in the blue shirt. And Corus McIntosh is our new Attorney for Labor Relations and Employment. And he's sitting next to Suzette. Welcome, both of you.
Welcome.
Will Rothenberg, I'm doing well, no time constraints, missing, it looks like Iris and Lewis, and then Christina Sterrett. We do have Dr. Fazzone and Dr. Martin here.
No, we're leaving if doctors don't have to show us back.
Can the rest of us with doctorates that are not doctors also leave? Oh yeah, Dr. Cole too, yeah. Sorry, elephants, none, expectation, make progress.
Good evening, Heather Leonard. I'm doing well for a Monday. I have no time constraints. I believe all the missing have been noted now. No elephants and expectations to make progress.
I'm Kevin Kelfie. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants and expectations make progress.
Good afternoon, I'm Ben Osman. I'm doing great. I have no time constraints. Missing's noted, no elephants, and expectations make progress.
Ann Cole, I'm doing well, no time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and expectation make progress.
Mike Keywood, I'm doing great, no time constraints, missing is noted, no elephants, expectation, make progress.
Good afternoon, I am Helen Martin. I am doing well. There are no time constraints. Missing has been noted. There are no elephants and expectations to make progress.
Hi, I'm Suzette Rivera. I'm doing well. My time constraint may be 5:30. Missing has been noted. No elephants, and my expectations are to make progress.
You need to turn that towards them.
Yeah. That's right.
Hello, my name is Corus McIntosh. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints today. People that are missing have been noted. There are no elephants that I have. And my expectation is to make progress as well.
Good afternoon, Mike Robichaud. I'm doing well. I do not have any time constraints. Missing people are noted. No elephants in the room, and I will like to make progress as well.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Kurt Fazzone, Chief Negotiator for the union. I'm fine. Think about it for a second. No time constraints, missing's noted, no elephants. I'll go make progress as well.
My name is Kevin Daly. I am the president of TALC. I'm fine, no time constraints, missings noted, no elephants. Make progress.
Hi, I'm Jill Castellano. I am a PCT at Varsity Lakes Middle and the Vice President for TALC. I'm doing quite well. I don't have any time constraints. I believe all of our missing people have been noted. I don't have any elephants, and I will say make progress.
Good afternoon. I am Anna Witten, the third grade teacher at Colonial Elementary and the TALC secretary. I am doing fine, ready for the school year to be over, tired. No time constraints, missings noted, no elephants, and make progress.
Good afternoon. My name is Shay Pearson. I am the TALC treasurer, and I'm also the testing coordinator at Island Coast High School, so I am surviving. I have no time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and I'd like to make progress.
Good evening, my name is LaShonda Hutchins Cologne, and I'm the grade 3 through 5 math coach at Franklin Park Elementary, and I'm well. I have no time constraints, missing is noted, no elephants, and I too want to make progress.
Good afternoon, my name is Amy Johnson. I am a 6th grade ELA teacher at Mariner Middle School. I am doing well today, considering it's a Monday. No time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and I will go with make progress since it's up there and it's getting all the points.
Good evening, Mario Dorstad. I'm doing well, no time constraint. Missing is noted, no elephants, and I'd like to make progress.
Carl.
I'm Carl Burnside. I do have a time constraint, which is ironic since I got here late, but I have to leave around 5:30. Looks like who's missing is noted, no elephants, and I will fall in line with make progress.
Okay, thank you.
My name is French, I'm doing well. I do not have any time constraints or elephants, and my expectations are to help you make progress.
And good afternoon, I'm Donna Mutzenard. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, and everything else has been said, and I'm here to help you make progress. And with that, we do have the minutes, and thank you, Perla, for getting all these minutes, all these sessions out early, so everybody has a chance to review them. Anybody have any changes, corrections, deletions to the minutes from our last meeting?
What was the date of that last meeting?
5/8. Amy?
All right, so there are some errors in capitalization. Have you fixed those already? Or do you want me to go through them? Want me to tell you? I emailed them to you? Okay, but I think I have to go back in. All right, fine. That's true. All right, so in under story for Article 12, the first bullet, it says, the last line of that first bullet, it says beside, and it should be besides, there should be an S added. Did you see it, Will? Okay. All right, page 2. The second bullet from the top. It's worded sort of awkwardly, so I have, it says the way of payment for guest teachers coverage. I just changed it to guest teacher coverage is paid in half full increments. There should be S added. So I crossed out the way of payment for.
Okay. Anything else, Amy?
6th bullet down. It says all the elementary school coverage is used to be per student times the minutes. I put multiplied by just because I think it sounds better.
Okay.
All right, on page 3 of 4, the first bullet, it says who is the district. I think it should be who in the district. And I don't know if district needs to be in quotation there. So it should be in instead of is, not instead of. And then at the end, it said, so it should be who in the district would counsel the employees for fitness for duty with a question mark? And Amy, I have these if you just want to take them.
That's okay.
And then I crossed out, it'll be most likely, and then just capitalize someone from HR or insurance and the benefits, since that would be the answer to the question, I think is what, it was a question and an answer. And then the fifth bullet down,
Go ahead, Amy.
if the employee is never able to return, I changed it, if the employee is unable to return. And then the second line of that, it said, would be ending employment with the district if no accommodations cannot be made, or can be made. I changed it to if accommodations cannot be made.
Okay.
And the only other error was just a spacing error is under calendar. It's has the date, May 22nd, but then it entered was hit, and it should all be on one line. That's just spacing. And that's it.
All right, anybody else have any corrections, deletions for the minutes? All right, seeing no hands, can we accept the minutes as corrected, please? All right, minutes are accepted, thank you. Now, in the minutes, it did say, after the district caucus, they wanted, we were going to talk about the fitness for duty option. Ready to do that?
Caucus, but yes.
No, it was after the caucus on the 8th.
Yes, so we have an option, which is language at the bottom of that option mentions 5 days.
Yes.
Our option is to change that to 3 days.
Okay, so that would be option 3.
Option 3.
Fitness for duty. So the option is change 5 days to 3 days.
Correct.
Okay. Right. All right, was there anything else, Rob? From?
Right, I just want to clarify, option 2 was TALC's, correct?
The individuals who not fit for duty.
No, that was the districts, I think, right?
Yeah.
And option 1 was TALC's. Okay,
Option 1 was just all one big option, and that's where the 5 days was.
Right, and that was
TALC's. Right,
Perfect, from T.
yeah. All right, Shay, did I see your hand?
So I apologize, I wasn't here last time. Could I just ask the reasoning from 5 days to 3 days?
Yes, because it's been our experience that individuals are able to obtain that type of documentation within 3 days. And with telehealth and other things, we believe that's reasonable.
Thank you. Any other questions for clarification? We have 3 options up here. Anybody have another option to add? Fitness for duty, Rob?
No, and I would just add, Shay, and thank you for asking the question. Currently, there's no grace period, so we're essentially would be going from 0 to 3.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Kevin?
This is more of a process question, but when would the day start? Would it be the day that we ask you for fitness for duty, or would it be the next day?
I don't think we had that clarified in either the 5-day option or the 3-day option, so good question. Kevin?
Sorry, can we have the mic?
Hello? Oh, there we
Hello.
go. Very good. I mean, for me, I think it would be, I mean, again, I guess it depends. If I tell you at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's different than me telling you, you know, in the afternoon. So, I mean, maybe it's the next business day. I don't know. Because I don't want to get in a situation where we're, you know, splitting hairs here at the table next year because, you know, yeah, I mean, maybe the next business day.
Do we want to add that as an option? The next the time would begin the next business, as of the next
Yeah, I'm
business
not,
day?
so Shay just kind of brought up something. I'm not sure if business day or work day matters, right? Because if it happens, I mean, typically in the contract, we define days for stuff like that as days the district is open. So, you know, when we look at grievances and stuff like that, it's days the district is open. I don't know. Business day, work day, same thing or different?
I think a business day is if we're gonna work day. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, work day.
Work day?
Work day, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm at 255. I got a lot of work days. 196s. Are we gonna get into a habit of tracking? Okay. They can. They just, they should.
Really? So you want that as an option for work day?
What's that?
You want that as an option for?
Work day, yeah. Please.
Begins the next work day. Okay. Do we have any other options? Rob?
Yeah, and may need to talk through this a little bit. So we have individuals where we sometimes ask them to take a fitness for duty examination and they're already on leave. So they would be on essentially, in some cases, leave without pay. So the language paying that person, once they're already on leave without pay, would be counterintuitive, if you will, because now they would get paid for 3 days to go to get an exam, even though they're already on leave without pay and have no leave left. So, and this would typically happen sometimes through professional standards or a person who's been on extended leave for medical reasons through an ADA hearing, something of that nature. So, trying to think through in my mind an option for that, but that is something that does happen, and Kerr's probably had experiences with individuals like that, so.
Okay.
I know I left you. I was just wondering if there was maybe
Other suggestions somewhere
I
on how to
think we
deal with
touched
that.
on that a little bit on our last session about what we would do if they were already on leave without pay.
What does it say?
That's what I'm trying to say here. All right, so option 1 says, prior to fitness for duty exam, the district shall counsel the employee to assist in determining the necessity of the exam unless there is an immediate healthy or safety risk to the employee or another person. If the district determines that a fitness for duty exam, either medical or psychological, in accordance with Florida statutes is required, the employee shall be placed on administrative leave with pay, when the fitness for duty exam can be completed within 5 business days, and that their sick leave would be charged. After their sick leave would be charged. So we did not address if they already
It was in the minutes.
were out of, it was in the minutes?
It says, if the employee is out of leave time and the supervisor requests fitness for duty screening, the employee would be on temp duty for the first 5 days. But that was that was if and I know I don't have the mic, so that was if an employee was out of leave. Right. Not if an employee was already on a leave without pay situation.
I see what the difference he's making is compared to what you're saying. He's saying if they were at work, but they're out of sick leave, they still get paid for those days. But you're saying if they're already on leave without pay.
Right.
And they're asked for a fitness for duty leave, what would happen then?
I know you said I should be able to picture one of these situations, but I'm really struggling to.
I'm sorry.
I can't think of a situation where an employee would be on leave without pay unless there was an outcome in a professional standard situation. But then it's for a 3 days, 5 days. It's not extended.
Go ahead, Will.
I think one of the situations that we were thinking of was like an FMLA situation. So if I'm out on FMLA, whether I'm using my sick leave to cover those days of absence or I'm on an unpaid leave, you wouldn't return me to have the temp duty days to cover the fitness for duty screening to say that I can return from the FMLA leave, if that makes sense. And I just say that because we currently already have that so that if someone is out for FMLA purposes and like the consecutive day FMLA, not an intermittent FMLA, that they would be asked to bring a letter saying that they're fit to return to duty, their FMLA is complete. Or I think they can extend it to a board-approved leave if they need to continue to be out, for the remainder of the semester or whatever.
Okay. Anna? The mic is right behind you.
I know in the contract currently, it does kind of briefly say that if an employee is taking intermittent leave and reasonable job safety concerns exist, the board may require a fitness for duty certification before the employee may return to work. So I don't know if a sentence similar to that would help clarify that if they were already on leave, we may ask you to get it kind of have a subsection within that.
Okay.
So when we first introduced this, the way I saw it is that a person's currently working at my job. My employer feels that I'm not right now and asks me to do a fitness for duty. So why couldn't we just have it as, an employee currently not on leave that is requested fitness for duty would come under this?
Okay. You want that as an option?
Right now, just trying to understand exactly, because now that we're getting into this, I'm maybe a little bit more confused on where we were going with this in the first place.
Okay. Will?
I think we can wordsmith some of it, like when we get to the point of like drafting actual language for a tentative agreement. I know, just to kind of put out there the different scenarios that we had talked about kind of as our team, where the FMLA, the ADA, the abuse of leave, and then kind of for lack of a better way to put it, like the reasonable suspicion, like if you're physically impaired and it's causing some safety concern. So I think like Shay and Anna have kind of pointed out, we do have kind of well-worn processes in place for some of these things, and I don't think the desire is to change that. I think we're looking at specifically the areas that it didn't clearly cover and trying to provide that clarification so that people in those situations know that they have the time available to go get checked out and come back and say either I'm good or no, you're right, and then it would likely trigger one of the other things, ADA, FMLA, something like that.
Okay. All right. So Anything else on this fitness for duty? Anybody have his driver's time? Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
We need to call. Okay.
All right.
We do
How
not.
long?
15.
15? You do not?
No, we don't.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Okay, let's get started again, and may we have a caucus report from TALC?
Yeah, we discussed the option and the previous discussion related to employees who are not, or who are already on a type of leave. And I think we have another option.
Okay, so that would be option 5. All right, let Amy get the, okay. Option 5, go ahead, Kerr.
All right, so the gist is a nod to what Shay said. Basically, we just want to note that says what we're discussing here applies to situations with employees who are not on a type of leave.
So
And
all
for-
these options that are,
Yes, and the situations that Mr. Dodig brought up with employees who are currently on some sort of leave, we will wordsmith that for the TA. We agree that what we've been discussing, I guess the nature of that would not necessarily apply in the situations that Mr. Dodig was discussing earlier.
Okay, anything else?
We have a straw design.
Okay, we will need a new piece of paper for that.
Oh, yes, and that was our option 4, workdays. Begins the next one. So then the straw design that we have is,
There's only that.
so option 1 was the original.
so you want 1?
Option 2 is if they're not deemed fit for duty, the employee goes on extended leave. So 1 and 2, the district's option 3, 4 and 5. So I guess 1 through 5.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But isn't there a difference? Option 1 says 5 days and option 4 says 3 days?
Option 3 changed was changing 5 to 3. So we want the language from 1, but we'll take 3 instead of 5.
Okay, got it. Just want to make it clear to everybody. All right, anybody? Yes, Mike?
So, with option 4, if the 3 days begins the next day, so technically I could have 1 day leave without pay and then 3 days paid? Well, if I don't work today when I'm sent for fitness to duty, because my 3 days don't start until the next work day. So if I can't work today and I don't have any leave time, I get leave without pay.
That's not the intent, but it is.
Yeah, I think the intent.
Practically what we have done, but it is not the intent.
Okay. The intent is the day that you're sent home is a day on the district as well, yeah.
So then it could be 4 days then.
So then 3 days after you're sent home, I guess is the intent. Because.
Not including the day.
Not including the day.
Okay.
If you have the discussion at 5 o'clock on a Friday or 5 o'clock on any day, that makes it a little hard to go to the doctor that day.
I can't see that.
So as long as you report for work, you're going to get paid no matter what time of that day you get sent home.
No, because they have that before.
You get the next workday, but this is, okay.
All right, Will?
Is it clear? Is it not
So I don't want to take us down this road, but I feel like since we're going down it already. So on Monday, you talk to me. I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I bring the note in on Friday.
Sure.
At the latest.
At the latest, yeah.
So I have to be back at work on Friday.
Yes.
If you're allowed to come back to work.
Work before you get charged leave.
Okay.
Anna?
So if I'm at work on a Tuesday and I am asked to go get this fitness for duty and it's 10 o'clock, what do I put in LMS?
Well, we have to for coverage.
Is that day 0? Is that day 1?
Day 0, but it's still 10.
Okay.
All right, Ron?
Yeah, believe it or not, I think we need to caucus now,
Okay.
just so we're all straight.
All right, you want to go across the hall, and do you guys need?
No, we'd
to-
rather stay here.
Again?
We'll go across the hall.
Oh, you're gonna go across the hall, okay.
So we had a brief conversation about our conversation, and we do have an option 6. And it would essentially be that the date of the doctor's note shall control as far as when the person would come off of the temp duty, so to speak, or the paid leave. So someone can't stay, say they go the first day, get a doctor's note, we're not gonna pay them to stay home for 2 extra days, is what we're trying to prevent.
Shall control. Regarding the temp duty or whatever.
Okay, Kevin?
So, let's go back to practical application. I get told on Monday I have to get this done. So, date of doctor's note is Thursday. I come back Thursday. You're paying me for all 4 days?
No, we're only paying, well, under the straw design, we're only paying for 3.
But with your option, you're paying me for the 4 days?
No.
But the temp duty doesn't, so this changes the idea that the temp duty starts on the next workday.
No. It doesn't. Unless the doctor's note is that day.
No, okay, but Monday you told me, right?
Yes.
So Monday is day 0.
Right.
I get a note on Thursday, which is the next workday, Thursday is day 3.
Right.
I come back, so if I get a note at noon, if I have a note for Thursday, because I think one of my team members has experienced this with workman's comp.
And you're gonna return the next day, so you would get paid for all 3 days.
All 4 days, because Monday counts.
Right.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he report it for work on Monday? Okay?
So I kind of hate to ask this question, but, so Monday you're told to go home, Tuesday you get a doctor's note. The doctor's note says you can return to work, but you can't return to work until Thursday, let's just say. So are they still considered on temp duty and they return on Thursday, even though they went to the doctor on Tuesday?
No, if they got a doctor's note on Tuesday saying they can return to work.
On Thursday.
Well, then sure, of course.
Okay, I'm just checking because you said the day of the doctor's note.
Well,
the day of the doctor's note may say you can't return for 2 more days.
A lot of people will go immediately to a clinic and get cleared to return, and they should come back the next day. What we're trying to prevent is a 3-day temp duty situation where the person actually could have returned the first day.
Right, so so really it should say the date the doctor says they can return. That's what it says? I can't see it that way, so okay, thanks.
Okay. Rob, do you have anything else?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? We have a straw design of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have another straw design?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other options? Our interest, I know back in March we did this, is employee morale, consistency, equity, safety, leave, when sit and get it done. I don't know how that got up there, but anyway, it's there. So looking at that straw design, does it meet most of our interest? And we want to test one of the straw designs. So do you want to test star design A or star design B? Is the sidebar going on? Do we need a caucus? Okay. Yes, which one? Or do we have another one?
B.
All right, we have star design B test, which are all the options that are up there. May I see thumbs if you're okay with star design B? Sorry, Bart, you know what up means you fully agree, side means you can live with it, and down, we're gonna ask you why your thumb's down and what we can do to fix it. Okay, we're good. All right, anything else on 12?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Kurt?
We had a couple of things that were outstanding. One, I think the entire rewrite still needs to be passed as an option. And we had increasing personal days from 5 to 6. And there might have been something else. But I don't believe the draft was ever.
So let's,
No, the draft was never.
can we take the personal day issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get rid of some of the paper, and then we will go to the personal day issue. Okay, personal day. Rod, do you want to start it?
Well, sure. I know this was something that TALC had entertained and brought forward. Just so it's clear, and I don't think we need to get into the story, but I think you all realize that currently in the contract, you can use 5 sick days as personal days. Florida statutes permits an employee to be absent 6 days each school year for personal reasons. So we tried to harken back as to how 5 days was chosen. I don't think even Donna is aware how that happened, but it did. So it's been 5 days for quite some time. This does not change, or any change would not change the way people accrue sick leave, which is governed by Florida law. So it would just be another personal day that members of the TALC bargaining team or TALC that's governed by the contract could use.
I think one time it was only 3 days you could use for personal days, many days. That car's not in the head, so that's how I think it goes from 3 to 5. You don't want. All right, anybody else have anything else on personal days? Jill?
I know that when we brought this up a couple sessions ago, it was brought up that some of the people in our bargaining unit who work a longer school year, not the 255, but like people who are working 226, weren't earning days for the months. And I know, Kevin, you were gonna look into that and give us some feedback, because they were under the impression they weren't. And then I know you were gonna check on that, and I wanted to get an update to make sure that the people that are entitled to leave are getting every day that they're entitled to. But they're earning, not, I guess entitled's not the best word, but.
So everybody that is 196 and I believe 206 is 10 month. So they receive 10 days. So it would be forefronted at the beginning and then 6 days earned. And then anybody above 206, so that would be 216 and above, would be the think 216 and 226 earn 11, and then 12-month earn 12. And yes, and we checked a lot of the examples and they all turned out to be correct. So if someone does not feel like they are, if you could ask them to reach out and then we could work with them to get that figured out.
Jill?
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And then I do have another question. So I believe the statute talks about how many days a month you work to actually earn a sick day, correct? It's like 50% of the month, and that's in board policy. So, because I think some of our people who work, not the 255, but are working 226, are working 50% of July and 50% of June. So would that give them 12 days? So, because they're working all of August, September, October, obviously, so they're working 50% of June and 50% of July. So shouldn't they be getting 12 and not 11? If their schedule works out that year, because I know when the schedules adjust, it's not perfect.
So currently we are having 11 days for them being earned. It is not 12. So if we are misunderstanding or misinterpreting, I would reach out to Rob.
All right, Rob, you're on.
Well, and now that we have an attorney sitting here, I could always defer to him, but looking at the statute, you basically are credited for 1 day of sick leave for each month of employment, which is credited at the end of the month. So if they work 11 months, they would get 11 days. And honestly, I don't see anything in the statute that talks about a half a month.
I'm saying board policy.
I understand, but you're governed by the contract, so. I'm unclear, and help me out, but I thought we knew the issue when we looked into it, and people were accruing leave the way they're supposed to be, right? Yeah.
And my question for clarification is, when you look at the 226 calendar, it appears that they're working enough time to possibly earn more than 11. That's what I'm saying. When you go back and look at that specific calendar, and you look back at board policy, and you look back at what it says about working 50%, and I just want to make sure that here's my thing, if they're in a position to earn 12 days, I think they should have 12 days. If they're not because of the calendar, then that's a different story. But I believe that our people should be getting what they're earning, and I believe that for any employee in the district.
So apologize if I misunderstood the question, but at that time I understood it to be earning 11. So I'll go back and get you more of a clarified answer.
And I looked at, I was researching on my own and I saw some changes, that's why. So I had, my question got updated in between the last time I saw you, so I apologize.
All right, anything else on increasing personal days in the contract? Personal days charged to sick leave? Nope, there's no option yet, I'm just.
It was option 3 from April the 24th, if that helps.
Okay.
It just said increase personal days from 5 to 6.
Is that the only, well, it was option 3, what did the other 2 options have to do with?
I don't want to get into the weeds on these. It was fitness for duty rewrite.
We did that,
and terminal
okay.
pay, we did that as well.
Okay, so it was 3 different topics, and this one, we just
I don't
never,
know how we attack
we
this.
just never talked to it.
Yes, that's
Yeah, it is probably a new option. Option 1 would be to increase from 5 to 6 personal days that can be used.
And give me the option, please.
Increase the number of personal days available from 5 to 6.
All right, any other options? Rod?
Yeah, I just want to state for the record that this is a significant change. It's one day, but it is a significant change. And it's a significant change being made during a period of time when we've probably had more teacher absences than we've ever had, for good reason. I'm not suggesting teachers are not absent for good reason. But I also want it on the record that if the district team and we come to a meeting of the minds here, that this is something that, even though it's one day, is significant. So I just wanted to say that.
Kevin?
Those significant administrators have the authority to deny it. So as significant as it may be theoretically, right, it can be denied. Okay. Even reasons that are not for fun have been denied. And so I don't know what, and again, this may not be for here, but I think we need to solidify the appeals process if an administrator says no. Because there's kind of a theoretical appeals process, but there's nothing in writing. So, you know, these days can be denied. It's not, you know, we'll see how many.
Okay, Will?
I just, I think part of the challenge when you're talking about these days too, and I know that you guys have brought this up at past sessions, is balancing the need for people to miss work sometimes and then the impact that them missing work causes on the rest of their coworkers that are at work that day, and how just because of where we're at right now and the need for people to go meet with contractors or, you know, take the day for mental health reasons or to catch up on medical stuff that, you know, they've fallen behind on or neglected because of everything that's been going on. I know that kind of becomes the dog chasing its own tail. And so just to acknowledge that sometimes complicates things. And I think, like Dr. Cole was saying, I think most administrators try to be accommodating, want to respect people and you know, give them that professional courtesy of knowing that they're not going to request the day off unless they really need it. But we do run into some of those situations, and I think in the conversations that I've had with a lot of administrators over the course of the past, you know, year or two, they're in the same position where it's like, okay, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know, you know, what else to do. I'm trying to make it work and work with people. And so again, just to put that out there, because I know it sometimes does seem circular, and that adds to the frustration, but I think everyone is kind of in the same place.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other options to do with personal leave? Okay, would we like to test option 1?
Sure.
Okay. If you're okay with increasing personal days from 5 to 6, available in the teacher contract. I see thumbs, please. All right, good. Now, the other thing is Article 12, the draft language.
Yes.
And I assume everybody's had copies of that to look at.
draft, John, I'm sorry?
I know, that side of the room is having a lot of conversations tonight. Article 12. Are we ready? Did everybody get the draft language to look over, and are we ready to move forward? Okay.
So the latest draft came out of a meeting on April 21st, so I don't know if that was sent out to everybody or not. We sent it out to our team.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to that. Well, I did want to clarify that we discussed things in here that are language. Fitness for duty, the increments, and some other items. I mean, I could chase them down here, but, so they're not incorporated necessarily into this language at this point. Like the personal leave that we just did, exactly. So, I don't know how we want to handle that. I'm willing to listen.
Ideas on how you'd like to handle it? Since we've added language tonight, actually in a couple of places that would not be in the draft you have. Kurt, do you have anything, any ideas how you want to move forward?
Would it be possible to make the draft language an option? Oh, how are we going to talk through this? I don't want to go through the red line by line. You gotta. It's 16 pages.
I don't know, like timing wise, this would throw things off because obviously I couldn't do it tonight, but could come back with a red line version of the red line or something to that effect. It's a lot of red line that's going to be going into the eventual tentative agreement. And I think like you're saying, Kurt, 80-90% of it, there doesn't seem to be an issue with, it's just making sure that those key portions get adjusted.
Okay, so let's try working backwards. When do you need to have this approved so you can put it out for ratification?
It's too late. Well, our initial plan was to ratify before folks went on break.
Right.
I don't think that's a possibility now.
Okay. Rob?
And I don't disagree. We're having a meeting at the end of this week to discuss the financial condition of the district. And that will lead to the scheduling of an executive session, so.
Okay.
Which will probably take place in June, hopefully. I was hoping that would be done in May, and it didn't happen because of what I was told from business services, so.
Okay. All right, Kevin?
The original goal was to have non-fiscal related things.
Right.
Perhaps aside from turnaround and stuff that's established and long, we know the cost of, agreed to tonight, so the wordsmithing can happen, so we can meet our deadline to have it out by June. I don't think, because even after we agree on 12, there are still other non-fiscal items that I believe are out there that won't happen tonight anyway. So we don't have any other meetings, and I am not going to meet when people are not here.
Right.
Because they deserve the right to be here, even though many of them do not exercise that right. I'm sure hopefully millions are listening at home to this riveting commentary.
But you'd like to have them have that option.
Have the option to come. So, and I know this screws up the start of the school year related to the leave article, but the leave article has been there for 2 years, and I'm sure if we reflected in our hearts over the past 2 years, there are probably hours and hours that we have fettered away in this room that could have gotten it done.
Right.
So I think what I'm hearing from the TALC president is there's no desire to meet between June 6th and August 10th. Accurate?
The majority of my team are 196 employees. The majority of my bargaining unit is a 196 employee. They deserve the right to be here.
Okay. So if it's not going out for ratification, there is time then to maybe do this and review it over email with the red lines, maybe? Or just hold it till we have our next session after the school year starts. Those would probably be the two options.
I think unfortunately, the only option is to pick a date in August to start again. The red line could be produced and distributed among the teams.
Right.
Prior, just because we're not meeting doesn't mean they may not look at their email every once in a while, right? Even though they're not required.
Right.
They have all that mental health training to do. So, you know, the idea of pick a date in August, probably not the first Monday everybody's back, and probably not the first Monday everybody has students, but that second Monday of the school year as the starting point, and hopefully have the red line disseminated on 12 and be completely ready to talk about salaries, because, you know, if we have that much time, we can certainly make options, and then hopefully ratify in mid-September.
Does that make sense to you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, obviously, the desire would always be to go into a new school year with a new contract, but
well,
that's
yes.
not gonna happen.
In a perfect world, that would happen, but I'm hearing it's not happening. It's not a perfect world. So that would put us at August.
Looks like,
Students are back on the 10th, right?
yeah, looks like the 21st.
21st?
August 21st, guys? First day?
Yes. What?
Right. August 21st, the first day.
First day for bargaining.
What is the second? Is that the first day back for everybody?
No, our first day back to work is the second.
What is the students' first?
First day of students is the 10th.
Yeah, we don't
No, it's the
work.
10th. Students start the 10th. That was deemed by the legislature.
Right.
Yeah, that can't be before the 10th. Yeah,
Yeah.
7th is good with me, 7th.
August 7th?
August 7th?
Maybe do like 4:30
Perfect.
to 7. I know it's a little bit shorter, but we'll work it till 3.
Oh, 4:30?
Well, because we're all.
It's a duty day, so they have to work till 3:30.
So 4:30 might just be easier for everyone.
Okay.
That way we have time to do beforehand.
All right.
And then we can go 4 to 7 the next time.
4:30 to 7 on the 7th of August.
And then every other Monday,
Yeah,
same holiday.
we only need a couple more.
Right. Oh, I'm sure we'll get it all done on the 7th.
Well, I also think we should put out in the open, like, what's left. Because honestly, I'm confused about what's left.
All right, so why don't we,
Okay,
and
you don't want to do
I hope
that,
Will and the
John.
staff are listening.
That's just what's left.
Just what's left.
What's the tick-off?
Why don't we put together a joint communication going into the summer break? And we can list that stuff. What's that? No, we can talk about it right now if you want. I'd have to dig out minutes.
But he's saying put out a joint communication as well.
Yeah,
So when you're saying August 7th, correct?
Yes.
I was just wondering when the open houses were scheduled during that time. Pardon me? Can you look at, because I know that kind of goes in line with during that time.
Are they all gonna be the same day then, do you know?
I don't think so, I can't remember. Elementary.
Elementary open houses are on the 7th.
Okay.
So the 7th won't work.
Oh, you got it.
I got it.
Yeah. No, that's what I was just thinking.
Thank you for bringing it up. I wasn't even ready to think about that.
Thank
I
you.
didn't think somebody would do that on a Monday, so.
Yeah, I didn't know they were, I couldn't remember by heart, but so.
14th.
Yep, 14.
14?
Then back to the 21st.
Okay. Back to the 21st.
Oh, 14th, still good?
No, I saw,
Those from over here.
Okay.
so we're back to Monday, August 21st, 4 o'clock
Yes.
that day, 4 to 7? Okay. All right, now you want to list what we have left?
Yes.
Okay. Approved language for Article 12. It's gotta be one, right? Yep.
The union opened Articles 2 and 15, our severability proposals out there, so we're waiting to discuss that. But I think everything from Article 2 is closed.
Okay, so 15 is still open? Okay, Article 15, severability. Okay, well, give me a second. All right, Will? You have a mic?
I thought we had a request to try and align the association leave language with TALC and SPALC. And then I know on the district side, there was a request to kind of specify what the rate for the invoice was. And not like the exact amount, but like to say, this is how we will arrive at that amount. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know for sure that we got this, but I think we were going to try and capture explicit language about like a president on full release and their accrual of sick and vacation time, making sure that that's somehow accounted for.
That TALC or SPALC?
I think for both.
Okay.
And I think it had to do with like, when you're on the board approved leave, you do still accrue, vacation and sick leave, and that does then eventually count towards your terminal pay. I think something explicit to that end, because I guess there was some confusion out there about whether or not that occurred.
Oh. Okay, it occurred to me.
Yeah, I think it's been occurring for a while, but.
Sure.
While Article 12 is up there, the only other item that I didn't see that made it to the draft was, that TALC wanted to discuss, was the ability to use sick leave and FMLA for adoption of a child, and to discuss that, not just adoption of an infant, but the adoption of a child.
Can you restate that? I'm so sorry.
Article 12, adoption of child.
Do we need to do that tonight so that 12 is ready to go? It's only 5:39.
I think it's in the draft.
So I'm struggling now because.
I know.
So the options that we've been putting forth have been off of the draft language. And so now I'm hearing that some of this is on, so I don't know that I'm comfortable proceeding with altering items in the language with, I don't know what language we're altering.
Okay. So you want to hold off on those things and just add them to the list for August?
Yeah, I guess this is the what's left list.
Okay. All right, anything else left? Rod?
Oh.
Okay. Kevin and Will, and then Will?
25% raises for the TALC bargaining unit.
Can we test that?
Salary.
Salary.
Put salary, that's left. I mean, if we're really marking up there, what's left to tick off, salary and supplements, turnaround, career ladder, MOU.
That's all compensation, technically.
Technically, but I think we could, again, I put up the option last time of keeping turnaround status quo for one more year.
Yes, you did.
So maybe the district has a response to that so that we can.
I thought we agreed to that last time.
No, I believe they had to double check.
Did you check on turnaround schools? Kevin said you were supposed to see if we were gonna keep it the same as this year.
Yes, we've had that conversation, and I think we're good on keeping them the same.
Do we also need to do another agreement around the, I'm gonna get it right this time, the BSI schools?
We will
had
need
to make whole for the list or add to the list?
We will
status
need,
quo as well?
we will need to do an MOU, more than likely before the beginning of the school year for the BSI schools. So, I'll be communicating with you guys separately about that, but yes.
Do I need to do the option of status quo for turnaround next year? And we can agree to it here?
We can, yeah, sure.
Okay. With the caveat that we're putting the band back together and we're gonna tear into it starting in August.
I think we did agree to all of that with supplement committees and turnaround schools the last time, and it was just a mutual agreement that that would happen. That the committees.
So in the job openings, Fort Myers Middle and Manatee have dollar signs next to the jobs?
Yes. Yes.
Is that based on a unilateral decision to keep things status quo? I'm just asking.
No, it's not just based on the turnaround pay. There's the UNICEF pay and other pay, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
Okay.
No, I didn't want you to think that. That was a good question, though.
Okay, so the option, keep turnaround status quo, Amy wrote it up on the wall there on the chart. Do you want to test that?
Test that, please. Yeah, can you write the schools again, please?
I can read them to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So the turnaround schools are, and I'm just going to use one word for each school or initials, FMMA, Franklin Park, Tice, Easley County High, ELCHS, Colonial, Edgewood, ICHS, G. Weaver, and Manatee. Transition schools are Ray V, James Stevens, Mirror Lakes, Orange River, and Sunshine.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that you wanted added to that option? No, because it says status quo, you don't need the amount. So can we look at option one for turnaround?
Yes, test as is, please.
Test as is. May I see thumbs, please, for that option to remain, keep the status quo for turnaround in transition schools? All right, another orange circle. Thank you. Okay. All right, so we still have our list going here. Oh, it went on.
It's a smiley face. These two.
Orange River and Sunshine, I'll add them. Okay. All right, so we're back to the list. We had, last thing was salary, supplements, turnaround. No, we still have to have that because they want to talk about it further. Career ladder and an MOU. So, anything else we need to add to the list? Kirk?
Looking at my notes, the district opened Article 7, and we haven't discussed that one yet, so that one's still.
Article 7, which is
work schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and our initial reason for putting that up there may become somewhat moot because of the school year starting. But I think we have to have some discussion about DJJ work schedule. At least that's what Will just hinted to me, so
Okay,
we'll leave that up there.
all right, Kevin?
Yeah, leave virtual too, based on the conversation we had earlier in the month.
So work schedule would be for DJJ and virtual.
Yeah, virtual's work schedule in some other places, but that's a nuanced kind of contract language and district operating procedures.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's more of a nuanced kind of sum of each, but yeah, we need to get that hammered out too.
Okay. All right, anything else we need to think about for August? No insurance? Anything else? Rob?
I can't sit here right now and say insurance is or is not something
Right.
that needs to be discussed, but we also take the summer, the task force takes the summer off too, so.
Right.
But we talked to Kurt and Kevin, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
We don't
insurance,
need to add it to the list, but it's a
yeah,
possibility.
insurance
it
will
could
rear its
come up.
head insurance will rear its head in October and November.
Right,
And
right,
so we can just come, because that'll be joint, we can just come together with all 50 of us and talk about that.
exactly. Okay, so far we have approved language, Article 12, Article 15 is still open, severability, align leave language to spell contract, capture that. When a president is on leave due to TALC duties, vacation, sick leave still accrue. Article 12, leave for adoption of a child, salary, supplements, career ladder, MOU. Article 7, work schedule, specifically DJJ and virtual schools. That's what we have so far. Anything else? Anything else? If there's nothing else, are we,
That's on here. That's compensation.
what's your pleasure? Kevin?
No, I'm not sure there's an objection to being out of here by 6 o'clock, so at least for my team. I don't know what else we have that we're prepared to bargain.
Kevin?
So just like turnaround is an expected expense, so is career ladder. And you know, it's been our interest to roll the career ladder so we don't have to have an MOU, so people can move on time, so they're not looking at both of us going, how come we haven't moved? So we desperately need to move it into contract language. If not, we need to get it done as soon as possible when we get back. Because it's, you know, and I don't know if you guys are prepared to do it now. Amy's not here, so you may not be. I don't know what the implication is. Because we were also talking about a level 4 and 5, which may have cost implications. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think there's going to be a hard objection from district leadership to that. So not prepared tonight to make an agreement on that. However, hear you loud and clear. So if that's the first thing we do in August, it can be the first thing we do in August.
Okay, good. And in labor management, you can probably prioritize what you would like to hit first. All right, anything else? Add to our list. Anything else to do tonight? All right, are we ready to adjourn? Yes. All right, well, with that, have a great end of the school year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to the teachers in the room, thank you for your year. It's been a tough one, and we'll see you all again in August. Thank you.
And hopefully you'll all get to have a little rest and relaxation this summer, everybody. Thank you.